Hello, welcome to Lemon Studios, where we talk anything and everything entertainment. I'm, of course, Lemon himself, Zeke Lamone, and this is Crash. Okay. He loves the camera, but then when he gets on it, he hates it. And we are going to review and discuss episode 2 of House of the Dragon. Oh, his favorite toy just fell. That's nice. So yeah, as we discussed last week, I really enjoyed episode 1. I think it's the best episode of 2022 so far. Best first episode of 2022 so far. Probably, it's one of the better episodes overall of 2022 so far, to be completely honest with you. But yeah, and now we're in episode 2, and now, you know, more plot and schemes going on. One thing that I've noticed, so after House of the Dragon, I didn't realize how much I missed the world. You know, like when season 8 ended, and again, I was one of the ones who did not hate season 8, but I was ready to say goodbye. I'm one of those people that's like, all right, it's over, it's time to say goodbye. And you know, probably will never revisit this world again, like, because, you know, it's over and it's time to move on. Some shows have brought me back in, and it's usually sitcoms like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but I never had any intention on watching Game of Thrones ever again until after episode 1. So I started rewatching Game of Thrones, and one thing I've noticed is that anytime what is the Game of Thrones, which is the plotting, the scheming, who's gonna take the Iron Throne, all that kind of stuff. That is when there's tits around. Like, they always are a brothel. They're always somewhere where there is a lot of sex. And, you know, a woman's boobs is always out just listening in. And one thing I appreciate about House of the Dragon is that there's none of that. Like, there was a little bit in episode 1. But that was really just them having conversations. Here, when there is the plotting and the scheming, especially with Otto and the daughter, which I really don't like, which I'm not supposed to. I think and the character of Abigail, I think that's her name. It's going to take me a while to remember all these names. The only ones I really remember are Renea and Damien. Those are the only two. And I don't even think I said Renea's name right. The character of Abigail, which I think that is her name, which is Otto's daughter. And I do remember Otto because that's an easy name. Who is the Hand of the King. Is that she's trying to do what her father wishes. And I do believe there is that also, like, I've been there before. I've lost my mother. And I've seen how my dad was when he lost his wife. So I do believe there is that aspect of it. But I also believe she is also willing to do whatever it takes to please her father. Because how she is just willing to just go and just go do these things. And now they're going to get married. And it seems like on the next episode, because I watched it in the episodes and all that stuff, it looks like they're gonna have a son. And I'm just like, I mean, this whole plot line of like, all right, King, you need to marry again, which is fine, which is completely fine. But to be like, it's either this 12-year-old girl or this 14-year-old girl, or 16-year-old girl, like, still very, very young. Those are your two choices, but no one of your age. Like, that was just like, it just made me feel very dirty. I was watching that, especially seeing this little girl go, I will give you a bunch of sons and kids. Like, I was like ugh. Like, I was like gagging while I was watching, and I'm glad they just nipped that in the butt. Like, I was just like, God, man, was not a fan of that. However, I am excited to see what it brings with crap, what's the house's name? Y'all tell me in the comments. Of the one that got denied the richest house in all the land. And that he's going to team up with Damien, and they got this alliance going on. Ooh, I'm really, really, really intrigued by that. But there's 2 scenes in this episode, and I believe this is what the overall message and the overall arc of this episode was. And that was basically just, it sucks being a woman during this time, especially when you're trying to get into power. And I really love the scene between Renea and the Queen Who Never Was, which is just a badass unforsaken name. That is not... What are you doing? My dog's being weird. And the scene with them talking and how she was just like, look, they're going to do a bunch of things before they let a woman sit on the Iron Throne. Let me tell you something. And I know, because I've been there before. Like, I was just like, wow. That was a great scene between those two about 2 different perspectives. And I also really enjoyed the scene of when Renee was like, you know what, let me show him just how smart I am, because this whole time, like, she has all these great ideas, and she just keeps getting pushed down because basically she's a woman. Like, they're not really taking her seriously. She's been given air for political stuff. And when she just, all right, I'm gonna get on a dragon, I'm gonna go to Damien, I'm gonna call him on his bluff and go, all right, are you gonna kill me or not? You're not? Okay, cool. And he gives her the egg, and they go. That was such an awesome scene as well. If I had to give any, because I do think this episode was a step down from episode 1, but like not in a bad way. Like, you know, I just really loved episode 1. But episode 2, to me, there's just some boring parts in it. Like, boring is a bad word. I just wasn't as engaged with these, partly because there was a lot of lack of Damien. Like, when Damien's on screen, I'm just like, I'm really invested. When he's not, it suffers a little bit, but it's scenes that don't have Reyna or Damien in it. Because when there's Reyna's in it, I'm good. When Damien's in it, I'm good. Like, when it's not, like, that whole scene with the king and then the two from the house that I cannot remember, with the queen who never was and all that stuff, I wasn't as engaged. Or the scene with Otto and Abigail and, like, her fingers are all messed up, wasn't as engaged. But those are my really only critiques of the show so far. But I guess that's a very good critique. And I really am enjoying this show overall. I'm very happy to be back in this world. I'm curious to see how this goes in. My bold prediction is still, there's no way Damien does not get on the Iron Throne officially by the end of the season. Otto's not going to make it, thank God. The king's going to die, whether it's from a sickness from his infections, or they're going to Lion King it and Damien's going to kill him. And he's going to banish Reyna out, and she's going to be off on his world, because they did get greenlit for a second season, and I could really see them Lion King it. He kills the king, and like, oh, she's dead, but she's not really dead, and now she has to fight her way back to get back to the crown and all that stuff from all of season 2 to take back her rightful place. I could see that happening. But yeah, I really do not see how this show doesn't end with Damien on the Iron Throne. I truly don't. I just can't see that. But what are your thoughts on episode 2 overall? Comment below, let me know. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you like me, or if you like Crash, hit that subscribe button as we are trying to grow into our YouTube career. And that'll be it from me, guys. I'll see you here next time at Lemon Studios.